Gary, you looking for the restroom?
No, I forgot to bring me something to drink, so I'm gonna go see if I got a thing out in the car.
Sorry, there's
I'll be back.
That was weird with the other. Okay, it's 7 o'clock and it is June 14th. Would like to call this meeting to order. Have the pledge of allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the flash is very bright, you can see it printed out.
That's awfully bright, Denise.
What is?
The
Your
flash.
eyes.
Flashlight off?
Your spotlight is shining in my eyes.
Oh.
Your flashlight is on.
I have no clue how to do that. Does anybody know how to do that?
Just put it down
Like that?
No, it's
on your lap.
There should be an icon sometimes on that screen in
Can
the
you
corner.
come here for a sec? Sorry. This is not my phone, so. Is this a menu thing? No, that's a pause.
It's all right.
Did it quit?
Yes.
No. That's
Okay, we're
turned it
going
off.
to go on, council approval of May 24th, the special meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we
Nope.
accept the meeting minutes as read, the special meeting minutes of May 24th, 2022.
Down a little bit.
Okay, I second it.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the May 24th, 2022 special meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of May 24th, 2022 regular meeting minutes, council.
I make the motion that we accept the regular council meetings for May 24th, 2022.
I second the motion.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve May 24th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. All right. First item for unfinished business is Armada update. And council, you see a white sheet that says comparison at the top.
Myra, I think I got it. Sorry.
Okay, you got it? All right, you will see Armada. We looked further into some other options, Square and PayPal with Zettel.
PayPal, yeah.
PayPal. You can see that there's different percentages for your transaction fees. All three of them have no startup fees, monthly fees, nor termination fees. You can see also that, let's see, Armada has Visa and MasterCard, and then the other two accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. Further into the little comparisons, Armada, the money will transfer in 2 to 3 business days versus the Square will transfer your money within 1 to 2 business days, as well as PayPal. So that's the difference of swiping and then getting it into town accounts, or people's accounts. Website is needed for the Armada. Square and the PayPal, they have a terminal. Square has terminal for $2.99 or $27 for 12 months on time. Or that you have an option of a handheld reader for $49. PayPal has a Zettel Reader 2 for $79 with a dock station costing $49. Or an option of just a card reader for $29. Okay, I'm gonna.
And I saw something on, through Facebook, where you could get a PayPal reader for free. Just throwing it out there, that there is the option, the possibility of getting something. I didn't click the link, but it was out there.
So how does the money get on our account
Okay,
though?
then the standard bill is $158.36, okay? Armada, if you take their percentages, would end up being $163.11. Or that would be your monthly. The Square would be $162.58 if town pays for the equipment. PayPal would be $162.08 if town pays for the equipment. And down at the bottom, it's just some thought, food for thought. How would town pass on the cost of the equipment? And then we also have a thought of how many people do we expect to use the service? So, with that comparison, maybe discuss among yourselves here to see which direction that you want to go in.
With Armada, wasn't it only a transaction with a credit card, but a transaction fee with a credit card? Wasn't it no fee with a debit card?
Didn't they say now that it was a fee with a debit card
Oh, it
also?
is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
if I remember correctly, that was the statement. It would be the 3% with our Armada, and the others, of course, would be what the fees are now.
So how is it gonna get on their account when you use PayPal?
How do we get it with Armada?
They,
Same way.
I don't think it is, I think, so you're gonna give PayPal everybody's account information and they're going to pull up their account? Or this other, that little cell phone thing you're talking about? I don't think you guys are thinking about the account part.
Did they say anything about that?
Honestly, I didn't dig besides getting the information for transaction fees and what we have here.
I mean, they may do it, but they'd have to,
I have a suggestion, that maybe we research that a little deeper and
Okay.
They wanted more information about the town information, and I wanted to know which way the council wanted to go before I went further. Because I have to set up an account with the, whatever way the town wants to go, you have to set up an account.
yeah, but maybe you can ask about
Yeah, we
whether
can,
they need the information or whether they can just.
so,
So you can't see paying a fee on a debit card.
no,
That's ridiculous.
yeah.
Question, on the Armada presentation, they would require that we as a town have a website. What would the cost of that be?
Right now, I'm looking looking into that. There is a person that's in town that could be our webmaster, and that would be an agreement of free.
Okay,
They would set that up for us.
Personally, I feel like Armada would be the way to go. It's no cost to the town and it's there for customers to use if they want to or not.
and in conjunction with that, Visa and MasterCard are the most accepted cards. Normally, the attraction of Discover or American Express, I don't know, most of us have more than one card. And so I would think that it would be, if you're going to use it to pay your bill, then the Armada would be the preferred choice, because other than setting up a website, which can be done for free, all the others require terminals or a handheld reader, both of which would have to be paid for, and just to, pay them. Okay, you also have the option of, coming in and writing a check or paying in cash. So, it's just one option of the three.
Okay, so I'm taking it that you're leaning towards Armada with more research with the Square and the PayPal.
How about possibly sending out notices to see how many people would actually pay with credit cards and see what kind of bite we get, whether that's worth the expenditure or not?
Okay, like a little survey type
Yeah, I mean, if
checkbox.
yeah, spend the money and do this and do that on it, and then find out, only 2 or 3 people are gonna use it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, anything else that you desire? No? Okay. All right, so that's a to-do. Item B with the unfinished business, Prius update. You had last meeting, Otto Smith's estimation for the Prius repairs. And I called Moses Lake as well as Tri-Cities, and both Moses Lake and Tri-Cities Toyota, the price of the unit was $2,325.06, which is exactly what Chris Madison quoted us. Tri-Cities had a reprogramming and labor cost of $612. And Moses Lake, okay, must be on a different sticky. I didn't write it down or bring it. But Chris's is the 140 for the reprogramming plus the 200. Dollars on that. So that would be what, $360? So the actual part is the same. It's the labor and the reprogramming depending on which direction that you go in. And I apologize for not writing down Moses Lake on one sticky.
Okay. Well, my preference is to have Chris Madison do the repairs. We need to get that vehicle back into operation again as soon as possible. The cost factor seems to be fairly close, except that Chris, the labor is less, and it's right here. So,
Yeah, I think that's better than reprogramming, because you can't guarantee reprogramming, can you, so,
No, the part has to be it has to be programmed.
or not just replaced?
No, no, well, you replace it for the $2,300.
Yeah.
but in that cost, there is also the reprogramming of that unit.
Yeah,
And so, just as soon have it here, rather than running it to Moses Lake and have someone spend an entire day or more, or to Tri-Cities, in which the situation would be the same. I just think that, number one, we need to get it back on the road, because right now it is not.
Yeah, I think Chris should, take care of it.
Okay?
As you say, that's local, isn't it, and he's been
Yeah.
around a while, so.
Well,
He
he's
knows
certified.
his stuff pretty much, so.
I'm not having it on the road anytime soon, but
Okay. I make a motion that we accept Chris Madison's bid for the repair of the Prius.
I second it.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to ask Otto Smith, Chris Madison to get our Prius up and running again. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. All right, new business, we have A, council, it is the yellow sheet for you, it's the AWC conference. And I'm going to turn the floor over to Barbara so that she can answer any questions or further explain. Questions? Okay.
I'm asking permission to go to the AWC conference in Vancouver, Washington next week. I am asking for permission for cost of hotel and travel expenses, gas. Since the Prius is out of commission, I cannot use the Prius, so I would use my own vehicle, and I'm asking for reimbursement for gas costs.
I don't know, there's a lot of breaks on here. It's like break, break. Sounds like you're just going on a big break.
It's no worse than a job. You got 2 breaks per day.
Well, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but there's a network
Well,
of
that's
lunches
not
there.
days, so it's,
Okay, the cost of this is how much?
The conference itself is free because we get a scholarship for a small town,
Okay.
so the scholarship itself is free. The
So it's
hotel
just a matter
itself,
of paying, and it is a one-day event?
no, it is over the course, I would leave after work Tuesday, and I would be coming back Friday morning.
Okay, so.
I would be out of the office Tuesday through
Okay,
Friday,
I'm
or
sorry.
Wednesday through Friday.
Don't they have an Eastern and Western AWC?
I don't, excuse me, I don't know.
I thought
The
they had one in
AWC
Spokane
conference.
that was the Eastern.
Spokane is next year.
Okay.
They alternate the years. Okay, no. Laura? You're up.
I make a motion to approve it.
I second that.
It's moved and seconded to allow Barbara to go to the AWC conference, June 21st to June 24th. And the hotel and the gas expenses will be paid. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, B, item B, we have code compliance officer report, and so I'll turn the floor over to Henry.
Okay. First thing, the notice of unnumbered homes. Okay, a notice was put into the water bills of the people that didn't have it, and I'll give them time to put it up, and then I'm gonna go around again. And then we have to see what we're gonna do after that, because they're not in compliance with state RCW and fire code and things like that on that. So that's number one. I also compiled a list of unregistered and unlicensed vehicles, trailers, and motorhomes that are parked on town right-of-way. Okay, the roads look narrow, but they're not. Okay, so they're still on the right-of-way. There's an RCW 465513 that addresses the problem. A police officer may take custody of a vehicle at his or her discretion and provide for its prompt removal to their designated impound lot. It will occur when a vehicle with an expired registration license plate tag of more than 45 days is parked on a public right-of-way. Okay? I spoke to the sheriff's department to see what they would do to help us, because since the town of Lynn doesn't have a police department, they're contracted to be our police. Okay? They don't do ordinance enforcement, that's part of it. But an RCW is a state mandate, okay? The deputy I talked to told me to go talk to the Ritzville and see what they do. Well, they have 3 police. They put a citation on a vehicle they find, they go back 2 or 3 days later, if it's still there, if it's not taken care of, they have them towed to one of the lots right in Ritzville, okay? But what do we do here? It seems like that vehicles parked on Route 21, since it's state, they will definitely do those. But the town ones, they will not. So I'm gonna try to reach out to somebody else, maybe the Sheriff Wagner, to really find out if they can really help us. It's just go around once, run the VIN numbers and find out what's what. But I already sent letters to everybody this past week to just to ask them to get them off the road, get them in on the property, or get the tags for now, you know, on that one. And the last thing is a squatter problem, okay? Last week, a homeowner was away, came back home on June 2nd, and they returned. They see a trailer and 2 cars parked on their property, not theirs, not their trailer, not their whatever. The sheriff department was notified, and he appeared and investigated the complaint. The sheriff said, move the trailer by tomorrow, okay? The trailer was moved to a different location in town, okay? I found where it was. I confronted the person and said, could you please move it out? It was on Friday. Can you move it out by Monday? And she said, well, where am I gonna go? It's not our responsibility, okay? Found out, she told me her story that she's been moved 4 times since January to different locations, okay? Where she is now, the property owner has already had a letter given, you have some information there in your packets, about that the letter was sent out on March the 1st, and the next one on May 31st, and nothing's been done. The time is up yesterday for the official ordinance, 12 days. Now it's up to the council what they want to do. That's the green sheets. That's copies of the complaint. Now it's up to the council to decide what they want to do with that. This is the first of some that are going to be happening in the future.
Council, may I
sign it?
Yes,
Okay, at that point in time,
okay.
you may address, but not now. This is
Well,
town council
I was
meeting,
just
so-
going to ask that it,
Please,
wait
observe
till, wait till I address the council was all.
Okay, thank you.
The ordinance 1101 states that after the 10-day, after that time, then it goes up to the council to figure out what to do on these nuisance ordinances. And the 278, 280 is the same thing, if it was a junk vehicle type thing. But this is the squatters. The squatter number is, you'll see it there, that it's 95 point, it's a 716-010, section G, that's the code publishing number, which says no trailer shall be used as a place of habitation, but can be stored on the property. But then if you look at the nuisance, they must have tags on them.
I'm taking. Okay. According to this one, the, there's quite a few things that are in violation. Okay, the date of initial contact by compliance enforcement officer is, March 10th.
That's correct.
Okay, you had a, discussion with that person?
No, that was when Mayor Bell sent that letter out, I wasn't hired.
Okay,
But there were complaints brought to the town about that.
And the background with that was, the initial in March, there was action, there was movement, there was cleaning up, there was some compliance. So that's where kind of, hey, we're working at it.
okay, but I see here that yesterday was the last day which required abatement was to take place.
Yeah.
And I presume that it wasn't completed.
Not
Correct.
No, not at all. Two people living in trailers, different ones.
Anybody else have thoughts?
Well, I think we need to get the town cleaned up.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay.
Needs to be cleaned up. It's gone on for far too long.
Okay, so we'll, maybe set this aside until we have, towards the end of the meeting, maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
okay? Information? Okay. Henry, is there anything else?
No, that's really it for now.
Okay, so this this right here, this form was approved by the council previously. So that's what, we're, kinda asking, that if all of the proper steps have been, done, then this is kinda your decision.
Right, read the ordinance again, and it was, now it's the council's, it would start at, I did section 6, the enforcement, now it's the abatement, the liability, the abatement, town claim, lien, et cetera, that's, section 6, 7, 8, 9, and just keeps going, you know, so you better study that, and it'll tell you exactly what has to be done. What should be done is 2 different ways of doing it, there's a choice.
All right,
Okay? We'll wait, okay.
Yeah.
All right, with item C, mayor's report, for today, June 14th, it's Flag Day. So the flags will be coming down tomorrow, or the next day, whenever we can, make sure they're put away dry, not wet. But I would like to, give acknowledgement to the town crew and their diligent work preparing the town for Derby weekend. And we will continue with the upkeep. As you may have noticed, WSDOT painted the crosswalks and the stop signs on Highway 21. And Brandon, Cagney, and Stephen are continuing to paint the lines that are town's responsibilities, and the crosswalks throughout the town. With that being kind of leading into, it was requested by the grade school. If you'll visualize the front of the grade school, you got yellow on the sidewalk, red, and then yellow. They are requesting for next school year, in the red section of that sidewalk, to maybe have a crosswalk painted going to the parking area across south of the road, street there. You got a crosswalk at the intersection there, you got a crosswalk at the intersection at the other end. And the request is to have a painted sidewalk there in the middle where the red no parking is. So, you got any thoughts with that? You're pointing at me.
Yep, we're not gonna do it.
Okay,
Number one,
reason.
the reason is specifically, those buses come down there, they park, and they load kids. We do not wish to encourage any student activity going in between the buses. Number one, there is no clearance. All the buses are requested to park end to end, so there is no room for them to do so. Number two, it would be, sometimes you'll see cars going through there and they're going way too fast, and it only takes a split second and you could have a child in jeopardy if not death. So we absolutely will not, under any circumstances, provide a crosswalk in the middle of the street there.
I'm with Jim on that. Sure.
Consensus? Okay. I promised that I would bring it up. School is out for the summer, so I'll let the principal know that, this is the feeling, consensus of the council for that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Back to Lions Club Park. The sprinkler system is in need of some replumbing, just so that you know. Centennial Park is needing some attention pertaining to the back sidewalk where I don't know if anybody's ever seen an aerial picture, but the sidewalk that surrounds the Centennial Monument is in the shape of a bell. Well, the back part is So I'm hoping to investigate into that, because I kind of think there might be a leak making the ground sink there. So that'll be priority. Wastewater treatment plant is being tested daily during this week and next week for the biosolid application permit process. The daily samples have to come from the biosolid pile as well as hot off the press. So as it's pressing, then they'll take their samples. The samples will be taken to a lab in Spokane for testing, and then the results will be part of the report that we're trying to do for the application. TIB 5th Street bid opening deadline is being extended to June 30th to allow more time for contractors to submit their bids. Okay, so that's extending. Lift station project will be starting in the middle of July. The pre-con meetings are in the second week in July. IACC conference is in October 18th to the 20th. Does council have any objections for myself to attend?
No objection here.
No, none from here either.
Okay, can there be a motion to pay for hotel?
I'll make a motion, we pay for hotel.
And I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. Motion's been made to supply the hotel payment for the IACC conference for myself. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, council, in your packet, you have the welcome to lend. It's the visitor's guide page that is published by the Journal, and every year we have contributed. And this year the cost is $730, which is the same as last year. Do we want to keep the same? But I've already told them that we need to change the council members down at the
Yes.
bottom, okay? There's a correction there. Anything else that you want to have change? Any suggestions? Different picture, different caption? But I need to know tonight. No
Okay.
pressure.
This is due when?
Huh?
This is due when, tomorrow?
She said soon. So soon, if we kind of wait until the next council meeting, then I think that that will be too late.
Okay.
What I've already told her is the new council members down at the bottom. I
Right.
changed that. And the, what is it called? The kiosk picture there in the lower left.
Mhm.
That is the John Wayne Trail kiosk area there, up there. I don't know if anybody's ever gone up there to see it, but it was put in by the John Wayne Trail Riders group. I have a possible suggestion where the second paragraph says, join us for one of our family-friendly events, including Wheatland County Fair and Rodeo. Well, this was when we didn't have the Combine Demolition Derby
Right.
on the schedule. Lighted Christmas parade could stay, but whatever council wants to make changes or whatever, but
Okay, replacing the Wheatland County Fair and Rodeo with
that'd be nice.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any pictures that are more representative of the town of Lynn?
Suggestion?
Well, that's my question. Yeah,
I suggested the monument.
okay. That I think would be a definite plus. What else? This is ours that we're paying for it, correct?
Pardon me?
This is ours, the town of Lynn, and
Yeah.
we're paying for it,
Yeah,
right?
it's Lynn's page in the visitor's guide that the journal puts out.
Okay.
I thought maybe a picture of the combines or the races, that'd be cool.
I agree that,
Maybe the park. I don't know, they
That's
seem kind of
more-
dull and boring.
what's that?
These pictures seem kind of dull and boring. It's just my opinion.
Well, think of it this way, you got business, you know, you wanna promote business in town.
Right,
So there's the two pictures of business. The brand new kiosk promotes the, trail.
Which is closed though, it's only open for the trail riders, right?
No,
Yeah,
there's,
because I tried to walk it a few
You have to
times
ask.
and there's gates you can't, you can only go not very far. Then there's gates and barbed wire fences that they only open for the trail riders.
okay, I will call and ask, because where do the bikers ride? We're having all kinds of bikers come through town. Okay, I'll ask.
I've tried a couple times, haven't got very far.
We had bikers today ask about camping.
And stuff off of it.
yeah.
Parks?
Yeah, we had bikers that were on the John Wayne Trail that stopped in City Hall and asked about camping facilities in town. But they were coming on the John Wayne Trail and asked if we had camping facilities.
Maybe they only have it a couple months of the year open. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Mayor, Mr. Loma has a,
There's combination locks. And to use the trail, there's a permit, it's not the state permit, it's another one. You call them, you get this permit, they give you the combination and you can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay,
That's the way it works.
interesting.
Because we've had several bicyclists come through on the
And they
trail.
have their, you just use a combination lock and just, that's it.
So who do
Go
you
right
call
through.
to get the info?
The John Wayne Trail is a website
Oh, okay,
on it.
interesting.
I didn't know that part.
Mr.
Yes.
DeMoss.
Just for information, I know that the horses have used it this year because out at the Grange that I belong to, we actually fed, they camped out there and we fed them this year. So the horses have used it this year.
Yeah.
Pictures from the Derby, the monument. And another thought is the children at the park.
Yeah, sounds nice. I mean, the monument is, people come to take pictures of that anyway, don't they? That's nice.
Rose?
The thing about having pictures of children in the park, you have to have permission from their parents to publish it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've eliminated that particular aspect, but we still have other avenues.
Maybe, of the parade, it's likely.
How would?
Picture of the parade. Summer parade. The float.
Okay, we'll have to see what we've got. May have to dig into the archives for that.
One more thing, too. I would suggest council, whoever contact Pastor Schaafstall, because over the last couple of years, because of COVID, we didn't have our coaster car races, but that could become part of this too.
Oh, they didn't happen Sunday?
No.
Oh,
No, they, for 2 years, obviously, because of COVID, but, in talking to Pastor Schostall, he mentioned that they didn't have any intention of continuing them.
Oh, I haven't heard that. That's the reason why I suggested that, you contact him
Very
and see
good.
what's happening with that.
That's it.
oh. Okay. 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 So a little bit more thinking on that, but going back to the cost, it needs to be approved or not approved. If we're gonna change pictures and change verbiage or whatever, I'm taking that as a go ahead and pay the $730 for the visitor guide.
Yeah, I make a motion that we pay the $730 for the visitor's guide, position for the town of Lynn.
I second it.
Okay, moved and seconded to, participate, have the Welcome to Lynn page for the visitor's guide at $730. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'll look on for those pictures. All right, returning to the agenda, we've got Finance Committee report.
Okay, where'd you go? Okay, Myra, do you have a copy? Do you have any questions on it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the warrant check register for the dates 5/24/2022 to 6/13/2022 in the amount of $43,367.91.
I second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the warrant check register dated 5/24 to 6/13 of 2022 for $43,367.91. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, also, we have outstanding invoices dated from May 16th to June 10th in the amount of $27,985.90.
I second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the outstanding invoices dated May 16 to June 10, 2022, in the dollar amount $27,985.90. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, council, Mr. Do you have anything for concerns, comments?
No, not tonight, thank you.
Okay. Myra? No. Laura? Mr. Dworshak?
And no as well for aye.
Okay. First on the public is Gary DeMoss, wishing to discuss code, or city codes.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna ask that the council bear with me because I've got about 4 pages that needs to be brought up before the council. First of all, to your code enforcement officer, your for a letter to me. I understand, and as I told you in the office one day, I am working on it. 3 of my vehicles have already been removed.
It's all we need to know.
You know, and we're working on it, you know, and there are several others that, you know, have a lot more value than
Right,
scrap.
right.
Okay. So
But
what we're
the
gonna-
thing still is, they should be registered. That's in the ordinance, 45 days.
Actually, you're gonna have to show me that, because I think that's against state law. You can
It's
have a
from,
vehicle-
it's from an RCW, And
Once
then-
they're parked on my property, they don't have to be registered.
yes.
Okay, then you and I'll have to fight about that.
Well,
Okay,
the
let's-
council
Let's
will.
say,
Okay, let's
Mr.
get it-
DeMoss, before,
let it go at that, okay? That's all.
before we go any further, though, I want to let you know that it is 4 minutes.
Huh?
It's 4 minutes.
Well, all right, let me, I'll go a little bit further in. On the ordinance with living in motorhomes, camp trailers, and fifth wheels. Here's the problem that the city could run up against, and I'm saying this because it has happened to other cities. If you remove these people, now, there's 3 people living on my property, okay? They get $841 a month, SSI, and they are far below the poverty level, okay? So they can't go anyplace else. All right, so here's the things that you're gonna run up against. If you make them removed, then they're gonna become part of tent city around here, okay? You don't want a tent city, you want them in a place, you know, where they're protected. Tent city involves garbage and sanitation. Spokane's putting up with it very, very drastically. They keep having problems. The other problem is that when it gets cold, they can't stay in a tent. The city does not have a warming center, nor does it have a cooling center if it gets hot, okay? So that's the problems you're going to, so if you make them move out of these places, you are, how do I put this? You are putting the town at risk, and you're responsible for them, okay? All right, so this is the problem the town is going to run up against if you make them. As it stands, the ordinance is prejudicial against, and is singling out the poor. And the American Civil Liberties attorneys would probably contact you very, very just and justifiably if this were to go about, okay? Now, the next thing that I want to cover, I addressed it with our mayor several months ago, and she's never got back to me. When the wastewater treatment plant was being built, or before it was, while we were still thinking of whether we were going to allow redoing the old one or this new one, we finally came down with the contracts. We had a 90% grant. I know how about this because I sat on that board for 3 years with this town, okay? 90% grant and a 10% loan at 1/5 or 5% of the 1%, okay? In that, it says that you have to have a savings account, that money from our wastewater treatment was supposed to be put into this and kept into it in case of a breakdown, okay? Well, I found out that didn't happen, and that, and how I found that out was a report from the newspaper that you were waiting on a grant in order to repair it. That money should have already been there, okay? And by not doing it, you're in violation of that contract, and they could call for that amount to be paid back just that quickly. So I think council better do something about acting on this and doing it really quick, okay? All right, so that's the information that I kept it as short as I could, but there is, like I say, there is some problems that the town needs to address. Okay, thank you.
How does that go back?
If there's any questions,
You know?
please feel free.
Gary, I have a question, please. Those
Just
people that are
curious.
living in the caravans, do they have running water, electricity, and sewer hookup?
At my place?
Yes.
They are, yeah, they have electricity, and, like I say, they're family members. They have, use of the, restrooms and everything at my place. There is no, the trash is taken care of every week by me. They bring it up and it's taken down, you know. So, yeah, we're trying to keep from having the problem that Spokane has. And believe me, and talking to the people in Spokane, they don't know what to do. But you don't want to make people that are just barely making it homeless, is what I'm telling you. Okay?
This is kind of hard because I've seen people living over there and they commit a lot of crime in town. In fact, you know, if you look at the police reports, I've caught several of them. They live at your house in those caravans. You know, that's,
Okay, I have never had anybody arrested off my property, okay? Nobody.
no, I'm talking about actually caught in theft with the stolen goods in the car. There was a police report made on that, or it should have been, and I'll make inquiries into that.
Okay, they have never contacted me, and I am in contact with the sheriff's office quite a little bit. Then they have never, the only time, and it was a short time ago, that my stepson was advised that he could not run his dog out on the right-of-way of Burlington Northern. And I told him, I said, no more, you know.
That's kind of hard because I'm talking about Wes Loomis, and he had $20,000 or $30,000 worth of parts stolen. They lived at your house. Well, not your house, but on your grounds.
Okay, then I need you to take and find out who these people were, and I will make sure that they will never come back to my property. Now, none of my family or my friend that's living on that property has ever been arrested by the sheriff's department or detained by the sheriff's department. Let me revise that. My stepson made the mistake of mixing his pain pills with a toke of marijuana and got behind the wheel, and he spent the day in jail. Other than that, there is nobody's ever reported it, and if there was a sheriff's department that was handling this, they should have informed me, because I am the landowner.
That was Sheriff Wagner and Jeff Lang was two of the ones that showed up that night, where they called out there at your premises, and 5 more came, which they're on camera, they have the number plates, and they have 2 witnesses. So,
Okay,
you know,
with that, I want to see that.
I didn't give you the names, but
Okay.
you know, that should have been taken care of by the police department, which
Okay.
maybe that will, maybe that won't, I don't know.
Well, I can tell you this, and you and I have had many conversations through the years. You know that I spent 11 and a half years wearing a badge, and I will not tolerate crime on my property. If it means that I totally ban people from coming there, then I will do so.
Well, I can provide you with photographs, number plates, even the car and the people, I'll write that out for you.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Laura, yes?
In fairness, okay, so, the whole town knows that all the druggies go up to your place. All the druggies in town, everybody in town knows all the druggies. The police, you call them and there's nothing they can do about it unless these people are caught in action or you have proof. So there's nothing they can do about it. So that is probably why the police have not been up to your place and arrested anybody. But the whole town knows that that's where all the druggies go. My neighbors, full of druggies. They go, I see them going up to your place all the time. And everybody in town knows that. So they're giving you a bad reputation, which is why now you're a nuisance house in the town. And you might not be aware of what's going on your property.
I was
but the whole
hoping that
town
this
is.
wasn't going on. So here's what I will tell the council I will do. I have no trespassing signs. I will put it out that these people are no longer welcome on my property. If they're caught on there, they would call trespassing, and I will inform the sheriff's office and have them removed. No more of this is going to go on, Laura, okay?
Gary?
Yes.
One thing on the civil infraction notice of violation in order to abate. There are 4 items listed on here. The first one is a fire hazard. Do you know which this pertains to?
Not really.
Okay, well then I would suggest that you get together with Mr.
That would be-
Puma on that.
Weeds and things, I don't know, I see that they're kinda high now, and everybody's getting weed notices too.
Well, I'll tell you
That's,
what,
you know,
if you,
just chop them down
up around
kill
my
'em.
house and in various places, the weeds are not growing. I have been, my stepson and myself and my wife have been mowing them down. So, I mean, is there, I have not seen where we have to have so many feet from the house or anything
Well,
like
it's
that.
like the whole, it's supposed to be the whole thing, because you may have noxious weeds, you know, also there. So you're supposed to keep the weeds down to like 6 inches,
Okay,
to just, you know,
okay.
I know it's been rainy, but you were lucky last year, it didn't blow over that way and scorch that other side.
The other thing that I want to address in front of council, in front of you, one thing that they sent me was, and it was referred to a fence, okay? Well, when talking to him, what it is my leaning building, okay? That leaning building has been there before I got there, okay? And here's the problem with that. Number one, it has been a pigeon roost and pigeon nest forever, okay? So it's theirs, okay? And under State Department of Fish and Wildlife, I can't harass them, or I'll be in violation. And if you make me do anything, and it's propped up, I mean, you can't see what's in the inside. That building is not going any further than what it is.
Well, I'm not allowed to go on the
I
property.
know, that's why I say, I'm just telling you that it is propped up.
Well,
And-
the ordinance says leaning, okay?
It doesn't matter. Do you want to take on the State of Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife? I'm not going to.
I didn't
I've
think
been a
pigeons
home-
were endangered.
They're not endangered, but they are a game animal, and they are protected as a game
So
animal.
that
Okay, we can look.
I have neighbors next door to
Okay.
me,
Okay,
and they're
I-
living in the attic, because there's a hole in the roof.
Yeah,
He
well,
can't fix that roof?
sure, you know, maybe, but I'm saying that being this has already been there for years, and they've been allowed there, I'm not gonna take it on as a responsibility, and like I say, I have been volunteering with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. This is my 41st year teaching honors education in this state, okay? I'm not gonna cross with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. If you people want to go ahead and tackle that, have at it. I'm not going to.
Gary, the next thing on the 1101 ordinance is unused junk, dismantled, abandoned trailers, auto, motorhome, vehicles, and parts. They've been there for quite a long period of time, I know.
And like I explained to him, there's already, since I got that letter, there's already 3 of them that's gone, and there's more of them that are in line to be taken off my hill, okay?
Okay.
It's a work in progress. I cannot take and do the work that I used to, because I now have given pretty much a death sentence. I'll probably be dead in the next 2 years because of COPD. So I will work as quick as I can, so I'm asking that, you know.
I would suggest that you get Darren to help you with part of that.
His stuff, he's hunting for a place to put his stuff. I don't even want to get started on that, okay? All right, so that's, any other questions?
No, sir, I believe that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I got one, Jim.
Yes, sir.
He mentioned a savings account. Well, when that waste treatment center was finished and made, you know, shouldn't that have been the original administration's priority was to do it and not come in here and beat up on this council and this mayor because they had no part of it, Gary?
Paula Bell was on council at the time, so don't try that.
Yeah, I had brought it to the mayor last year, about this, and I have seen nothing done about it, so now I'm bringing it to the whole council.
Okay, in order to facilitate your statement, I would appreciate it. I presume you still have the records, correct?
I do not. It is part of the original contract with, that the city has in their records.
Okay, and what date was that?
When was it finished?
2014, I
Okay.
was there.
Okay. Do you yourself remember the?
I remember the 90-10.
Yep, so,
And it's not a resident's responsibility to keep those records, it's the town's, and if you want that
Well,
information,
thank you.
talk to
I
the
don't
clerk,
believe that you're
treasurer,
on
and the
list
mayor.
At this moment, are you?
Well, you can say whatever you want to, but I am
don't
right,
think
and
you
you
were
know
called
that.
on, so.
Okay, thank you, Mr. DeMoss. Denise, you have the floor's ordinance is your subject.
Again, where is the water ordinance? When I was clerk treasurer, it took me 3 days to make an ordinance. Why does Barbara not have the ordinances ready that were
Because
supposed to
Mr.
be?
Mike Wold is working on it, it's his.
It is not a council person's job to write an ordinance. It is the mayor and the clerk treasurer.
I wanted Mike, since he had the suggestion.
Well, I'm saying Barbara is not competent to write an ordinance
well, I'm
because she
sorry,
doesn't know
but,
what she's doing.
Madam?
The meeting is over.
Stop.
That's it.
The
You
meters,
either stop,
the
you
meters.
either stop
Call the
talking or you're
police.
gone.
The meters are not
If you
being read
refuse to do
properly
so,
because
fine.
Barbara does not
This
know what
meeting
she's
is
doing.
Ended.
She has
All the
a
audience
criminal
leaves
record
now.
and she should not be going to ACW.
Let's adjourn and get out of here.
All in favor, say aye.
You have someone else who wanted to talk.
No.
RCW 423050. We can clear the room. And I suggest
You
we
need to
do.
do so.
You got it.
We can talk about ordinances, but we don't comply with them. We have dogs that are unlicensed. And they weren't licensed last year, they're not licensed this year, but we're on that.
Oh, here. Would you repeat that one more time? Sorry.
Get out of here.